Dude, you know what this reminds me of?
Look, I got another trophy.
That girl. Something turned up. I'm gonna need your help.
Bomb?
How'd you guess?
This doesn't matter that much. They just talk about how there's bombs.
Oh, okay.
You both wanted to say something.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see something for a little bit now, but somebody kept talking.
Well, I wanted to explain my idea, my point, and why I feel that way.
I wanted to say that I wish they would have kept going with like this comic booky like aesthetic that they have in these games. That's like kind of dark, but also kind of bright and comic booky.
Can I show a secret?
And then
Sure.
in Suicide Squad, it just kind of seems like they were like, okay, let's just make it the DCEU again. And I guess to be honest, it just kind of feels like, I don't know, I'm just kind of sick of the DCEU because every single time they like put out something, it's either not good or it's like really good, and then I'm upset that they're not going to make anything to go with it.
Right, it becomes hard to care at a certain point.
So like, I don't know, I guess I'm just not really super interested in Suicide Squad because it just looks like a DCEU game rather than a Arkham game, and it was like, why should I care about that then?
I have a point to what I'm doing. I'm looking for something specific. Because you both wanted to talk anyway, so...
Well, I was going to say, that reminds me too of,
and
like...
I agree with you, Joe.
Yes, I think that's 100% true.
DCEU should stay in the DCEU.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like with Suicide Squad, I am still personally... Look at the Anarchy Sound, that's great. I'm still excited to see it and play it, but it reminds me of like when the...
Oh yeah, the Anarchy sign, sorry.
Yes, yeah, when the DC animated, not the DCAU, but the DCAMU, the movie universe with like the Apocalypse War and things like that. When those movies were coming out, I still looked forward to those movies. I still liked those movies, but I would much rather have them just kept going with the DCAU.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was so much that they could continue to do with that.
And everybody loved that.
And everybody loves it. Kevin Conroy is always down to play Batman. I'm sure you could get Mark Hamill to come back for some fun episodes. You could get Tim Daly or even I forget the other guy who played him after Tim Daly in the animated series. But there's so many things that you could still do with that. So like with this, I feel like in Rocksteady's defense, in the games that they did, I think they fit so much content in order to make a fluid story that makes a lot of sense. But also, they could have made 5 or 6 of these games and gone in a million different directions. The problem is, I think, is they were trying to keep things tight and a playable story that could appeal to the public, which they did masterfully, in my opinion. But I do think that there is so much to explore and that they could have done 2 or 3 more games worth of content. And that's what's kind of sad, is they've kind of just taken a step back and gone in completely different directions of Batman, where all of these characters, they spent 4 games developing. You know, it's just, I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that they really could have pursued, especially with the dynamic of with Bruce being gone now.
Ah, here we go. There was a point to what
Starro! Yes!
Yeah, you showed me this. You showed me this when we played this a little bit for footage one time, and then there's like also Starro like kept in a tank.
No, don't talk about that. I'm going to show you that in a minute, Joe.
Yeah.
You're ruining it. There's another. I think there's another one of these kind of advertisements somewhere too. But yes, yeah. Do you want me to show the hidden?
We should for sure.
I was gonna say also, I kind of feel like this was so popular too because it was so inspired by the animated series and stuff.
Yes.
And people loved that
It
stuff.
was originally kind of an offshoot of it.
It really was.
And then it kind of seemed like it kind of seems like nobody was asking for like a DCEU version of Suicide Squad. They were asking for more like Batman animated series version.
Yes,
you are correct.
And it seems like they were just like, nah, let's just do whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that it's not that these games will be bad. We're going to play these games. Listen, by the way. Hear that noise?
Yeah.
It's like a high-pitched shrieking. I believe this is one of the only places you hear that noise. I think it's a unique sound effect. I've never heard it anywhere
That's
else.
so interesting. Starro!
That's so scary.
And you get closer, and the sound is louder. It's like a psychic burst
I hate
type
it.
thing. Yeah, and you can... it's hard to see him very well, but yeah, that's him, and
He looks
the eye.
creepy.
he is very aware of everything going on, and the eye doesn't really follow you, but it looks like
It does move, though.
It does move a little, yeah.
You know, I just was, I have 1 episode left in Batman Beyond, and the episode I think just a couple episodes ago was with Superman when he comes back, and
And
he's...
Jill hasn't seen that, by the way.
Oh my
So
gosh,
just be
well,
careful.
yeah, I won't spoil anything, but...
Do you see the eye on the back? The
Ew.
big eye?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Gross.
Hard to see, but yeah, this is a full model. They did a full model of Starro.
It's so cool.
And yet they could have made another game and had him in the game.
Oh, Justice League. I mean, he very clearly was like here for a Justice
set
League
it
game.
up.
You just here's all you need. listen to this. This is why this pisses me off. Monolith Wonder Woman in this universe. Yeah. Just do it. I don't know if it is or not. Who knows? But I'm just saying, think about it. Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor gameplay, but Wonder Woman in this universe, set earlier or later, don't care.
Then make a Superman game.
Superman, good, in. And then, obviously, you have all the Batman games, and then, of course, you have what they're doing with Suicide Squad, and then you just take Gotham Knights, you rework it to work into this universe after Nightfall. Boom, done. Then what can you do eventually? Lead into Batman Beyond. You know, this is something I've talked about before, not with Damian Wayne. I don't want Damian Wayne Batman Beyond, but Terry.
And if they added in, like, a little bit of a Green Lantern game or DLC and something, and a little bit of an Aquaman
Make the movie
thing.
canon! Oh, sorry.
No. And added in, like, a little bit of an Aquaman thing, then they have, like, pretty much almost the entire Justice League, I think, right?
Yes.
Like, aside from, like, the Flash, which they could also tie in there. And then they could have, like, a Justice League game.
They were
come out
working on a
after
Flash
couple
game years ago, by the way, to your credit there.
And
they were.
So it's like, why didn't they do that? Why didn't they try to make, like, a huge, like, universe? Because obviously DC can't get it right with their fucking movies, so make it in video game format.
Don't forget, you gotta, yeah. Okay, I didn't know how out of practice you were. I apologize.
Oh, no.
I'll let the master handle it.
I don't know. I think that they could have made, like, a really incredible, like, MCU kind of, like, universe, but in video games, and it would have been awesome.
And the MCU, the Marvel can't do that in games.
No, so, like, DC could have made that their thing, is, like, video game universe. It could have been awesome.
Literally, can you imagine that? A DC video game universe, but, like, with the quality of writing of, you have the Arkham games as the backbone, and then the DCAU type inspiration for everything. It'd be incredible. And
it would be, like, literally, like, the best thing that has ever happened to the universe.
And dude, that's what the DCAU did way better than any animated or live action universe they ever tried to do again, was this. They made it so you could watch what you cared about. You only care about Batman? Cool. Animated series, Beyond.
Watch the whole thing, yeah.
You really don't care about him in Justice League, like, because you don't care about those art characters, or you don't care about whatever, fine, sure, that's your choice. But if you want to get everything, you enjoy it even more, and you get a deeper experience. You know, and the MCU isn't that. You need almost everything. And they could have done that here, is these self-contained stories, but that still exist in the same world and eventually tie together. And oh, they're doing that now with Suicide Squad. Maybe, but then why'd they go the other direction on Gotham Knights and stuff? It's just, that's my problem. Maybe it's not fair to the game. I get it. Maybe it's not. But
no, I didn't get it.
No, not Impossitan. Wait, what's the
Sir,
what's the villain thing?
Are you dumb, super dumb?
Hey, sad clown. Turn that frown around.
I just wanted to see the death scene. That's
love
all I
the
wanted.
Death scenes. The death scenes in the series are, like, my favorite thing.
They're so good.
Dude, they're also great in Jack and Daxter in the first one.
Really?
When you die, like, you get made fun of.
I used to try and die at every part that I thought might have a different death scene in it, just so I could watch it.
In Asylum, there's so many of them.
I found a unique death scene in this. Have you ever died in the part where you're defending GCPD?
Something turned up. I'm gonna need your
If
help.
you do, they kick in the door and shoot Batgirl.
What?
Yeah, they go down in an elevator and the door opens and she's like, and then, like, they gun down Aaron Cash. Yeah, and cut away.
I didn't know that. That's actually dope.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I actually want to make a top 5, like the 5 best death scenes in the Arkham games.
That's a good idea.
I'd like to make a couple more top 5s in the near future, because I've been kind of missing it. I don't want to like do it as much as I was. There were people, like, really annoying me about the Arkham stuff, because it was always like, only cover Arkham, only play Arkham, only do this, only do that. It's like, dude, that's boring. That
other stuff I want to do.
That makes the games not as fun. Like, I want these games to be fun. They're special to me. They're not like, it's not like the McDonald's or the mac and cheese of, you know what I mean? The dollar mac and cheese box. These games are special to me.
Right.
And one of the saddest things is there's not enough content to keep doing that for, like, a really long time. Like, that's the saddest thing to me, is, like, there isn't enough games, there isn't enough DLC, there isn't enough, like, anything to, like, viably make content on it for years and years. Like, we pretty much did a top 5 on almost everything we can think of for these games, except for the death scenes, probably.
There's a couple things I got, but yes, you are correct. Also, I think we'll talk to Robin now for a minute, and then, well, after we
fucking
close
hack this stupid thing.
Yeah, no, that's my problem. I genuinely, I will say, it hurt my feelings a little bit too that some people acted like that was the only thing I had of value to bring to the table on YouTube. But I think a lot of people, YouTube itself, and also viewers, not all of them, but a lot of people expect you to milk something to death, then go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like milk something to death, then die, not like physically, but
Yeah,
go do
right.
something else. And I don't care if you're doing YouTube or not, just give me what I want, and then I'm gone. You can expect that from streaming services and stuff, fine. I understand that to an extent of like, I'm only interested in House. Oh my gosh. Go into detective
awesome.
mode. Go into detective mode.
That guy's like really excited to see her.
She lays down and she's like, Tim, I'm gonna need you to go.
Need a bucket and a mop. Dude.
No, but you know what I mean? It's one of those
Wow.
things where it's like, I understand that there's
That
a
was
lot of
some
people
twerking. Oh,
who
sorry.
that's their thing, but like, I have more than just, this thing. I know I've complained about it infinitely, I'm sure. I'm very grateful for the people who watch this channel and the art channel and stuff like that, but it's just annoying. Like, imagine if you loved 10 things and somebody said, yeah, shut up about that, though. I want to hear about this. And that's all they cared about. It does hit a point for you where you're like,
It ruins it.
that kind of affects my enjoyment of that
Yeah.
thing. Like, don't you want me to still enjoy that thing?
Right.
So that when I do talk about it, it's good, because
And don't you care about anything I have to say other than that?
I guarantee to you, if I had only done Arkham, you know how there was like a stretch of probably 6 months where that was just my thing? Mm-hmm. If I still only did that like 2.5 years later or 2 years later, the videos would be shit.
Oh, I bet.
Because I
Yeah.
wouldn't care.
You would have got burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
I
question.
either would have been gone or they would have been garbage. Or both. Probably both.
Yeah.
They probably would have slowly degraded into garbage and then I'd be gone. And you look at these people, I guarantee you, because I do talk to YouTubers behind the scenes and stuff like that. You talk to people who cover only one thing, which I have, most of them are sick of that thing.
I
They
bet.
fake it. They fake it. Like, it's inauthentic. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Like, unless they're uploading once a month, they're sick of it too. Like, they really are. And the only examples... Oh, nice.
That girl? Why would anybody follow Batman? Why, he's nuttier than a squirrel pie. He alluded to those
I'm gonna go on the carousel.
Everybody that's a clown.
That's true, everybody loves a clown. I used to like to go to McDonald's and stand next to the cardboard cutout of Ronald McDonald.
So I was going to tell you, by the way, the people that I've seen that are exceptions to this are people who the IP they cover is huge. Like, I've seen Star Wars creators, like Star Wars Theory, for example. He does do side channels, too, but he's not sick of Star Wars. He loves Star Wars. But guess what? There's billions of hours of Star Wars content between Legends and canon.
Well, I was gonna say, and that's the same thing with like League of Legends guys or things who do the same games over and over again. Is you're getting new content.
All the time.
All
Even
the
some of
time.
them get sick
Yeah.
of it, too. Why do you think Ninja quit doing Fortnite for a long time?
Yeah.
Like, they a lot of guys make their money, and then they're like, I'm sick of this. And, I don't really think people should want... I mean, I'm not saying you have to personally care about every content creator. I get that maybe that's... Well, I think it should be a given, because I care about everybody who watches my videos generally, and I try and be nice, but I know a lot of people won't. And it's very dehumanizing when something's behind a screen, but you would think that you would want the best content somebody can make. And, if they pivot to just one other subject only, I totally get the complaint. Like, if you go from covering Arkham all the time to covering the Cheesecake Factory, okay. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like, that's just the same issue, but with something else. I
Did that
understand.
guy just jump on me and that ruined my combo?
Absolutely.
I like
That is so annoying.
I like that Harley cheered you on. She was like, "You go, girl!"
Yeah, Harley's a feminist, dude.
I love it.
Harley probably thought Batgirl was hot.
I love that Harley's personality in this is similar to like the Harley personality in the animated series.
Yeah, it's literally just that she's still being abused by Joker the whole time. She takes... sadly, in this and DCAU, she never fully gets out of that.
No.
But in the comics, she does, and that's where you see her start to lighten up and actually become a bit more of a hero, in a way.
I also like the interesting take they had on her when you play as her, when she has like voices in her head. You
Yeah.
know, and stuff like that. I kind of hope they still do that in the Suicide Squad game, is like show that she has like psychotic problems.
I think she's going to be a little bit more even-tempered, because Joker will have been dead for years at that point, at minimum 2.
Maybe, yeah.
But who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the thing I like about Harley is she's very impressionable, but she also is capable of bringing out the best in the people around her when she doesn't have the worst brought out in her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you guys want me to stop talking about Arkham, since people keep bringing up other things.
No.
No, I was enjoying talking about it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. What do you want me to talk about?
I need to do something.
You want to talk about something else?
You should drown.
Oh, okay. I will. I will. I'll do that.
How do I...
I was going to say that...
Oh, here we go.
What the heck? I was going to say that I do think that it's a genuine shame that there was so much stuff they could have done with this, and then they just kind of dropped the ball and didn't. Because
is a little unorthodox.
No, you can talk about it. It's just a bomb thing. Do you want to talk more about my channel, though?
Oh, I was leading into this.
Oh, sorry.
Because if they had
How does this relate to me?
continued to do more video games and more, content in general, then it would have been something as big as, like, things like League of Legends and Star Wars and stuff, where there is a ton of content for you to do on it, and then maybe you would have been happier, doing, superhero stuff for a longer period of time. But, because
I still do superhero stuff. You missed that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, because it got so stale, it was like, well, I don't really want to do this, just this forever. I want to be able to talk about other stuff too, because I want that stuff to be interesting.
And I never wanted to only talk about that. I think a lot of people have not you, but a lot of people have a misconception that I wanted to only talk about Arkham and I got bored of it. I did. It was just that I was very passionate about it, and I had a lot to say. And I still have stuff to say about it, but a lot of what I had to say has been said unless I change as a person, which in certain ways I have. Like when I go back and I look at my Spider-Man kind of top fives, the first two, I disagree with me. Like when I said, like, I actually like the way they wrote Mary Jane in this, when the first time I played it. Dude, the second and third time I played that game, she is insufferable. I hate her. I'm like, why did I like her? She's annoying. She constantly causes his problems for him. She almost got a bunch of people killed, like at that one gala.
We deep dived into the psychology of it, and we found out that you used to date girls who were just like her, and that's why you like her.
That's true.
And then you met me, and you realized what a normal person was like, and you were like, oh, so people aren't supposed to be like borderline abusive.
What do I do here?
That's true, actually. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, there are ways I've changed my opinions. Or like Spider-Punk. I used to hate the Spider-Punk suit. I don't anymore.
Bro. I see what I need more force. That's not good. Okay.
Oh, do you have to dive on?
I think it's funny that you die if you mess up.
I know. Yeah, we gotta get to those guys soon, and I gotta cowabunga down into that thing. Okay.
There's a bit of Joker inside us all. Come on, kiddo. Let your Joker out.
There's a little Joker inside all of us a reference to the when he supposedly assaulted her?
Yeah.
What was it? Why am I blanking? The terrible movie Killing Joke. But
yeah,
it was originally
dude.
A good book. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, dude. Honestly, it might be with your channel, dude. I thought.
Thank God, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Your take.
It's a really tough thing to sustain over a long period of time when you're stuck in a like. For example, there was a podcast that I listened to for a while. It was the Batman the Animated Series podcast, where this guy would have guests on, and he would have them, like, it was Andrea Romano and Kevin Conroy, and these big, I think he may have even gotten, like, Paul Dini or Bruce Timm to come on.
By the way, what happened to the last bomb?
That's a great question.
Like, did they just count it?
It's over now. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was right here.
No, the dive one. He did a dive one.
I know.
And he messed it up. The hammer went.
Yeah, where is it? Are we not going to be able to do that now?
Do I need to go to that next?
Because I wanted to still see that.
Franny.
That's
my friend.
Maybe they're doing it in a random order because you messed up the last one.
Are you saying that he ran out of stuff to do, by the way, with it?
Yes, because
Sorry.
no, that's okay. They didn't have enough. I mean, there's only so much you can talk about. How is it not phony, by the way?
Well, it's not Fauci. Fauci. Fraud.
I'm beginning to think that T is a little bit dumb.
There we
Joker,
go.
you're a fraud.
We're in.
Finding a prospective partner is never easy for birds. Robinson man solved this problem by meeting at crime-infested roots and charming each other with wild displays of fun fashion.
Wait, so are we going to be able to see her defuse the bomb with the hammer still?
We should
I
be
don't
able
know.
to. I don't think I was supposed to go there at first.
It might have glitched. But anyway,
Oh, okay.
I think, not to interrupt you, but to what you were saying, again, though, a lot of people have a misconception. It was never going to be Batman the Animated Series channel. You're like an Arkham channel. It was whatever I wanted to do. Maybe that sounds selfish, but like, it's my channel. I want to talk about things I find interesting. And so Arkham was a big thing for me for a little while, but guess what? There's other stuff I find interesting. And if people don't that's too bad to me, but like I do, and I'm not gonna do this stuff if I can't talk about other stuff too. Like I just won't. I won't do it.
I think it's funny that YouTube expects you to be creative and make these things, but not too creative, and wants to stifle that at the same time. It's like a very hypocritical platform of, yeah, you can be an artist, but only with this one thing. You can't be too much of an artist, because if you branch out too much, then we're just gonna kill you.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's true, and that's what frustrates me, I guess, too. And even with certain people who watch. Now, here's the thing: most of the people that I wouldn't even say complaining about or throwing shade at. Most of the people I'm talking about left, by the way.
Oh, sure.
Because I can watch subscriber stuff, but guess what? I still grow. Like, yeah, I literally, like, mine is worse than a lot of people. I will lose, like, 400 subs a month, but I'll gain 600.
Oh, sure.
So it offsets it. So a lot of the people who, like, only wanted one thing left. What I think's too bad about that, though, I still cover the thing they wanted. I still do talk about Batman. I enjoy it a lot. Actually, in the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, there's probably 3 Bat-centered videos.
And they didn't want to watch that video that I was really excited about when you talked about how you would continue the Arkham series, and I helped make that. Like, I helped with those ideas, and you wrote all of that down, and I helped proofread it and stuff. It was really interesting.
Oh, I have another one of those I wanted to.
Then those people didn't watch it, and it made me really mad, because, like, that was the thing that I wanted you to make, like, really badly. I was so excited for that. I was like, this is, like, my dream game. You're finally talking about it. This is the thing I've been waiting for, and you finally talked about it, and then nobody gave a shit.
Well, I will say, not to correct you, there was a decent amount of views on that video. But yes, it was nothing like old views. Mm-hmm. Like you're talking like the top 5s that would get 300,000 views.
Yeah, or like
right?
your Flash video that got millions of views.
Right, and you can't expect that out of everything, but you are correct that like a lot of people just didn't bother when it was a huge deal. I mean, it was literally a video essay that I put hours into.
That was the thing that people were asking for forever.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of my issue with the whole thing is that
they ask for it and then don't watch it.
Well, yeah, but also that I still cover it. Like Jill pointed out the other day, you know, I said I find it annoying that a lot of people will talk about a YouTube creator and they'll be like, well, I used to watch him when he made this, but now I don't watch him anymore. And it's like, well, it's one thing if they just quit making that completely. One, I would argue you probably didn't care that much for the creator anyway. You just cared for one style of thing. But it's one thing if they just stop completely. Like Shane Dawson is an example Jill used of somebody who's pivoted 1 billion times and stopped doing their old stuff when they did. But I kept doing the old stuff too. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the problem I have with it is that I never quit. I never stopped making Arkham stuff. It's just I don't make it as often because I'm not going to milk it. And legitimately, I do respect my audience enough to not like view them as dollar bill signs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I'm not like, oh man, 5 reasons why Tim Drake's butthole is the stretchiest. Like you don't need that in your life. Like you don't.
Well, I mean,
okay,
maybe that's a bad example.
Sorry,
but,
we'll ask Bernard.
Yeah.